Hey guys, welcome. I'm Mike James. Welcome to this video titled, So, how do authors make money anyway? It's an age-old question from authors that we're going to get answered today. But just do me a favor before we continue and get started. Just smash that subscribe button below and make sure that you get notified every time we release these brand new author tip videos for our author marketing community channel here on YouTube. So let me just bring the presentation up at my end. I'll tell you a quick bit about myself. My name's Mike James. Over the past 8 years, I've helped over 4,500 authors make the really vital transition from kind of passive, have-a-go, amateur self-published authors, transitioning them all the way through to full-time, profitable, best-selling authors who can live off their book sales. It's a passion of mine. I like to pride myself that I can turn just about anybody into a best-selling author. And if you follow this channel, and particularly this video today, it's going to equip you with some really important training to help you get into the right mindset to make that transition for yourself. So the theme of the video, if I can get started here on the presentation, is how do authors make money? It's part of our author marketing tips series, and we hope it's going to be very useful for you. Okay, so first thing I need you to know is that you are in the right place. You've probably been searching for answers, and you're exactly in the right place right now here today to get those answers that you've been looking for with clear and concise information. So maybe you're already an author, maybe you want to be one, but one thing that you'll definitely want to know is how do you make money? And in this video, we're going to find out how authors make a living, and we'll also share some of our top tips for increasing your book sales. But remember, in publishing, there are no guarantees. There's no salaries, there's no consistent income without a contract, and even then, sure success is not a thing. You're going to have to work extremely hard and learn how to market your book if you want to quit your job to live off it. So, how an author makes money is pretty simple, of course. It's from their books. One way would be traditional publishing, and this is where a publisher extends an advance to an author against their projected book sales. So that's when they say the royalty would be $1 a book. We think you can sell 100,000 books, so here's a check, John, for $100,000 in advance. They're hedging the bet against how many you're going to sell. If they don't sell 100,000 books, they're not going to ask for it back. They're taking the risk. This is the perfect situation that every author wants. But remember that it typically only happens, or really only does happen, for proven authors that have contracts with major publishing houses. And let's not run before we can walk. You're just not at that stage yet. So let's look at the other options open to you. Royalties from book sales always are the most common ways that folks make money. Now, if you have a traditional publisher, you may make a percentage off the cover price, but remember that your agent is also going to make a cut, and the publishing house are going to swallow up tons of money for all the marketing that they're doing to get your book pushed out there. And you're probably, I'm convinced, and you're operating in the world of self-publishing. Self-publishers tend to make money again, or always do make money off royalties, but they don't have the major marketing arm of a major publishing house behind them, or the support of an agent. So the bottom line there is that they need to do the work for themselves. So yes, you're making more per book than some people represented by publishers, but the volume is typically going to be a lot harder for you to achieve because those self-publishing companies like Amazon and Author House are not going to be marketing the book for you. That's all up to you. Let's take a look at our next slide here, extra credit. So another way for authors to make money is for them to put books out in different formats. So for example, hardcover books are typically pretty expensive, and big name international proven authors will typically release in hardcover first and then have a paperback version come out a few months later. Now self-published authors should also consider audiobooks being made from their manuscripts. A lot of readers love to listen to books in the gym and in the car during their commute. I'm a perfect example of this. I love books, but I typically do not have a paper book in my hand. I'm always in the gym, screaming around on my way to something, doing something at home. So I have, in fact, this is proof they're right next to me right now. There's a layer pieces that I put in. Then I have my phone with all of my books on it, and that's how I tend to consume things. So if I love your work as an author and you haven't released it on an audiobook, then you're not going to be making money from guys like me. But remember, it's a great way of adding an additional revenue stream from readers who may not be interested in a hardcover or even an ebook. And of course, authors should always release as an ebook as well. Although many readers still love to feel books in their hands and hold them, increasingly e-readers are becoming the rule, not the exception. So you're missing out on a huge sales opportunity if you don't have an ebook ready to sell. Let's move on here to supplementing your income. As an author, remember it's important to consider other revenue streams, especially in the beginning. So consider consulting. This is really good if you've written a business book or a medical book or a self-help book if you're in the guru space. And pitch your expertise and search for jobs online where they're looking for your particular talent. Now, another way, if you have a series that has fans, is to consider producing a line of merchandise around your books. And these are things that can essentially pay you a cut every time they get sold. So you could use something like Etsy, which is the big artisan marketplace that most people are familiar with, or you could even go to something like Cafe Press. Make sure you Google Cafe Press. It's a great website where in very small runs, I actually think you can do it single item by single item. You can upload images to mouse mats, posters, t-shirts, mugs. So if you have characters or inside jokes from your book or quotes, even the book cover, things like that, you can actually produce a range of merchandise. You can put them up for sale, but you only have to produce them and pay for them and ship them every time you get an order, so that way you're not carrying expensive inventory. But it's a really good way of increasing your notoriety as an author, especially if you're interested in making a little bit of money on the side. Now, another way, if you're interested in getting the attention of a traditional publisher or agent, is to really capitalize on the power of pre-orders. So many publishers take pre-orders extremely seriously, pretty much over any other measurement, when they're trying to gauge an interest in people's work, and they really see them as a hot barometer of your potential success. So rather than releasing your book right away, definitely consider, if you're putting the finishing touches on it, and you know it's 2 or 3 weeks away from publication, get it uploaded to Amazon as a pre-order. You can start taking orders and making money, and then whatever date you've defined as the publication date, when that arrives, those ebook files will be pushed out to the people that have bought it. Okay, an easy way to increase your book sales and build a targeted audience. This looks like something interesting, doesn't it? So, wouldn't you like to have a captive audience eager to hear about you and your books? We have a simple way to build that audience, so make sure you listen up. Let's go through it here slide by slide, and I've got some notes. So consider giving or extending a giving hand. Many people might not like to do this, but it's a fantastic way to gather new readers. Set up a simple landing page or utilize social media and offer a free ebook. But you've got to market the hell out of it, and you've got to put a form on the website. Sorry, my phone was ringing there, just making sure it wasn't anyone important, and it wasn't. Most important folks are my students. And where were we? Yeah, so this form, put the form on the website, tell people you're going to give them a free ebook, but collect their email address. And the key then is that you're going to be building up a targeted list of people that love books in your genre that you can continue marketing to. Now, one thing I will say is make sure that you tell them why you're collecting their email address and what they can extend from you in return, because many jurisdictions and provinces and states and countries have laws around that. Here in Canada, we have something called the CAN-SPAM Act, C-A-N, SPAM Act. You have to tell people why you're collecting their email address. You have to tell them what you're going to do. So you're going to be pushing them periodic marketing messages and free resources, that kind of thing. But when you have this, it really is a gold mine, because you can employ the value offer methodology that's been existing in digital marketing now for years. And what this says is you should send one email with value, so a free excerpt about the book, whatever you want to give them. The second email a few days later, something else of value, and then the third email, so you can slam them with an offer, like a discount off the book. And if you do 2 emails of value and 1 email with an offer, you're going to not bombard them and exhaust them with offers, but you're going to keep periodically building that trust by leading with value. And then when you send those offers out, people are going to be so much more receptive to them, trust you more, and the uptake and the conversion from those offers is going to be an awful lot higher. This will allow you to watch your sales increase from an email list that you own. It's your intellectual property, and that you can market to for as long as those people stay subscribed. Let's move on here to the secret sauce. I've worked with thousands of authors. All the time they ask me, how do I make money? But what I don't get asked enough is what's the best way of ensuring that I make money? Because the secret is, you have to work really hard to make sure that your book is worth buying. So work on your craft, practice writing, take classes, spend as much time as you can editing and perfecting your work. Be careful about those typos and sloppy mistakes in your books as well. I can't tell you how many authors I've worked with who've received negative reviews solely based on sloppy typos. The story was great. They loved the suspense. They loved the characters. The setting made them feel like they were transformed to wherever the book was set. But when people just can't spell every third word correctly, it just destroys the flow of reading in their head, and they get frustrated and ultimately leave bad reviews. So find a really, really good editor. They can run at about $1,000, $1,000 to edit a book, and that's the lower end. They can go up to $10,000, whatever you want to pay. But if you can get a cheap, good editor, it's going to pay dividends to you. Don't cut corners, because the $1,000, the $1,500 you'll spend with them, you can make back so quickly by continuing to sell more books through 5-star reviews that continue to sell books for you while you're asleep, and without having typos be something that's a detriment to your sales. Also, solicit feedback from unbiased sources. This is a gut check. This is going to hurt. Don't listen to your friends and family. They love you too much to be honest. I tell a story all the time to my folks. I had a client once, and when I used to get a new client, I was coaching authors very intensely. First thing we do is jump on the phone. And I was asking him about his book, and he said, hey, this book really has legs, because my wife said it's the best book she's ever read, and she's the hardest person in the world to please. And I told him a story off the back of that. I said, remember when you were in school and you went home with let's call this guy John. You went home with an elephant mask on that you made, and your mother went, oh my gosh, what happened to John? Where's John? There's an elephant in the house. She was doing that because she loved you. At the end of the day, you had a crappy elephant mask on, and your mother didn't say, oh, John, nice crappy elephant mask. She pretended you were an elephant because she loved you and she wanted to reward your hard work. That's what this guy's wife was doing, and this is what your best friends and your neighbors and your closest colleagues and relatives will do. So go to unbiased sources. Social media is great. Strangers are good. They're easy enough to find. Believe me, there's enough folks out there that want to read free books. These are the people that will honestly give you feedback that will ultimately improve your work. If you just want to give your book to someone who you know is going to praise it because they love you, I would say you should give up the author dream, because you're just not going to be a good writer. You need honest feedback from unbiased sources. Also, learn from the masters. Read books about writing, consume everything you can, seek out experts on book marketing. Remember that the path has already been walked for you. You just need to find that information. So there is no secret to how you can sell 10,000 books in a month. It's something I teach people every day. There is a proven plan that if you have a book and you have the time to follow it, you can get there, whatever the book is about, whatever genre it's in. So don't waste your time trying to navigate the frustrating thick soup, the thick bush jungle of book marketing, trying to figure it out for yourself. Get that plan. That path has already been walked and makes it a lot easier for you. So stay focused and absolutely don't get discouraged. It's extremely easily. Stay focused on your goals. There we go. Just get this next slide up in time. Stay focused on the goals. You want to be a successful author. You've worked hard. Don't let anybody tell you that you can't. I believe in you. And part of my core job for the past almost 10 years of my life has been turning people with no experience who've written their first book, no one knows who they are, turning them into bestsellers. It doesn't really fail for anyone. If 4,500 people behind you can do it, you can definitely do it. I believe in you. Keep writing as well. It's your passion. It's what you want to contribute to the world. Keep writing, keep honing the craft, and keep doing what you love. And finally, please, this is my ultimate mantra, the one thing I want to leave you with: market your own books. Even authors with big publishing contracts often have to market their own work, because in today's increasingly saturated marketplace, there are thousands of readers who are hungry for new authors and new books to discover. So you need to get your books in front of those people. Nobody else is going to do it for you. Uploading that book to Amazon, it's just not going to sell. I can't tell you how many people come to me frustrated because the book's 2 years old, they put it on Amazon and they've sold 20 copies. Google this, it's 100% true. A couple of years ago, the Times newspaper in the UK did a study. They found out that the average self-published author sells fewer than 500 copies and makes less than $500. And that's because 99% of authors just upload that book to Amazon and hope people are going to find it. That's not the case. Market your book. Market it using proven methods. This is the key to making a living as an author, bar none. So we're going to leave it there today. I think that's a good little free training session for you guys. As I say, we like to release these videos pretty frequently. They're all free tips on transitioning from the life you have right now to the life of a full-time, profitable, best-selling author. Make sure you subscribe by hitting that button below. Make sure you like this video. We would appreciate it if you were to share it on social media as well. And check out the description box below. When I record these videos, my team upload them for me in the office, and they typically put a free resource or two in that description. I don't know what it is, whatever it is, it's stuff that we've created over the past couple of years that's always mind-blowing. Typically it's stuff we've also sold as well that we're now offering to you for free, just into your hands for the pleasure of you from being a subscriber. So check it out, click whatever's in there. Look forward to seeing you guys next time. As you can see, it's a pretty bad day here today. You may have seen those trees shaking around behind me, so I'm just going to go and make sure that the office is still in one piece. So thank you guys, I appreciate you, I appreciate all the work you're doing, and we'll chat soon.